Hi everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to draw the Titanic. And it's 108 years ago today, on April 14th, 1912, the Titanic sank in the Atlantic Ocean, taking many, many people along with it. But I don't think there's any ocean liner that's ever been constructed that has captured the imagination and the fascination by so many people. This is an illustration of somebody that actually drew the Titanic, and we're going to draw something similar to it. But if you can scroll, you can just sort of see how the Titanic has been the fascination of many, many individuals, including its discovery back in 1986 by Dr. Robert Ballard, who was in a submersible that was able to withstand the tremendous pressures underneath the ocean. And he was able to locate the Titanic and able to understand what had happened to it. You know, clearly the Titanic, when it sank, split in half. You know, and this was the bow section here, and you know, as it was sinking, you know, in the ocean. So you can see that these are some of the illustrations of the Titanic, and so I thought it might be fitting for today to draw an illustration of the Titanic in pencil, and also use this as an opportunity to talk a little bit about single point perspective, which is a concept in art that I'd like you to be able to master and to know about. Those of you that were in the art class, we've already done this, but it's fun just the same. So what I'm going to do is that we're going to start out with a sheet of paper, and we're going to put it the portrait way, and we're going to begin by laying in the horizon, and then we're going to put in what is called a vanishing point, and we're going to have some lines of perspective that allows us to draw the Titanic to make it look as if it's coming towards us, very much like this illustration here. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a sheet of paper first of all, just like this. And when I have the sheet of paper, let's see if I can't get a little further out for you guys. We have the sheet of paper here. We are going to first start off by drawing the horizon. So when we draw the horizon, we're going to remember the rule of thirds. Okay, and the rule of thirds basically tells us that we're going to... Where am I? Oh, there we are. There we go. We're going to look at the rule of thirds, which basically means that we're going to take a look and separate the paper into 3 equal parts. Okay, we don't want to put something directly in the center of the drawing because that makes it look ugly. So we're going to draw the horizon about a third of the way down like this. Okay, and the horizon is basically the dividing line between the sky and the ocean. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to put in a point right here, a dot right here, and that dot is called the vanishing point, because that's the point at which we can no longer see. And from this vanishing point, we're going to extend a line out towards the corner of the paper, like this, and we're going to have these lines come out, maybe one down to this bottom corner of the paper, like that, from this one point. Okay, so the lines are going to come up from that one point so that they extend out this way. Now these are going to be our guidelines, and the guidelines are only there to assist us when we are drawing. And the first thing that we're going to do when we draw the Titanic is that we're going to draw the hull. So what we'll do is that we're going to come over here, and I'm going to put another line down here because I don't want the hull to look that big. And we're going to put a line down like this. Okay? And that line there is going to be the front edge of the boat. So the boat is coming out this way, just like in the sample, and we're going to come out this way. Then a little bit back, I'm going to make something that looks like a parenthesis line like this. And this now becomes the hull of the Titanic that is coming out in our direction. Okay? And, you know, if you want, you can sort of differentiate that by coloring it in a little bit like this if you wanted to. After that, we're going to use this line out here this way. I'm going to draw a line out this way. And we're going to draw a line like this, straight up and down this way. And about a third of the way in, we're going to draw a line from here straight down to the hull line. Now, a lot of the times kids make the mistake and they draw their line this way. Okay, you see that? You see how it's slanted? Don't do that. What you want to do is you want to draw it up and down this way. Okay, and what I tell students is to make sure you put your pencil on it before you draw it, and look at your pencil and look at the edge of the paper. If the pencil and the edge of the paper are like two parallel lines, like railroad tracks, then you're on the right track. If, however, your pencil is like this, and this does not look like a railroad track with a pencil and the edge of the paper, then something's wrong. So we've got to make sure that it is straight, and this becomes important when we put in the smokestacks. So we put in this first part up here, and this becomes what is called the superstructure. This is the white part of the boat that is, where all the passengers stay. Then we're going to draw a line down straight across this way. Again, this should be straight like the top of the paper. Okay, and then we're going to come down again, and that will be the superstructure. And that superstructure is where you can have some windows, if you want to extend it a little bit for the bridge like this. You can have some windows up here. You can have another layer down here this way, and put some windows in like that. If you do put windows on this side, remember that you have to follow the rules of perspective, where we have a line coming out from the point here, and your windows have to be in between these two lines like this. Now, when they're up close, up towards us, they're going to be much larger. As we get further and further away, they're going to get smaller and smaller, and so forth. Okay? So then after that, we're going to start drawing in the smokestacks. Now, again, the smokestacks are going to have to be standing up pretty parallel to the side of the paper. So as we draw the first smokestack, we're going to draw two parallel lines, just like that. And then we're going to make a line across. Not like this. Don't do that. Okay, forget that. We're going to make the line come across, straight across this way, and straight across this way. Okay, we'll put a line here like this for its reflection, and we'll color that in dark with our pencil. Okay. Now, this one's going to be a little bit thicker. The second one, we have to have 4. The second one is going to be a little bit skinnier. Okay? The third one even skinnier than that. And these are all going to be getting skinnier. Now, the one at the top, okay, the curved line at the top has to be, again, parallel with the top of the page. And then we'll put the black ring at the top. The Titanic had sort of tan-colored smokestacks because back in those days, the different shipbuilders would have different colors for their smokestacks. So the boat builder or the shipping line that they would use would be able to be recognized very quickly. You know, some people are saying, how come these aren't red with the black stripes on it like the Queen Mary in Long Beach? Well, that's because the Queen Mary was not made by the White Star line. It was made by the Cunard line, which was a little bit different, a different shipping company. And so in this case, we have the smokestacks coming out this way. Okay? And if you want to have smoke coming out, make the Titanic look as if it's sailing, let's put a line from our single point, vanishing point, and have the smoke come out this way. Remember, it would have been black, ugly, billowing smoke because it was a coal-burning ocean liner. So the smoke would come out in that fashion. Okay? And so now you have the Titanic this way. And what you can start doing is you can start putting in some waves. You can put the waves like this or like that. And you can put some more detail in. You can begin to start shading in parts of the Titanic however you'd like. If you wanted the Titanic smokestacks a little bit taller, you can make them taller if you wanted to, so long as they are following that line of perspective. I think I should make them a little taller. I don't like the way mine look. I think they look a little stumpy, so I'm going to make them a little bit taller here. And then after that, you start erasing your guidelines. And once you erase the guidelines, you start to be able to put the Titanic more together, and it starts to look and come together a little bit more. You can put clouds in the background. You can do any different decorations you would like. But this is the way in which you start to draw the Titanic with the horizon line. You can draw the line over here this way. If you want to draw a mast in the front with a crow's nest, they saw the iceberg, you can do that. And as you begin to clean it up, it starts to look more and more like the Titanic. In the front, you can begin to put some waves in. Now remember, in the front, I would just put like a wave like this, like that. As you move further and further back, the waves get very much smaller, okay? Because you want the illusion that you want to portray here is that this ship is coming out towards you, coming out of the page towards you, so that it can then trick the eye in making it think that it's a ship that's coming out. And this is called single point perspective, because we have a single point here where our eye seems to disappear, and all of our guidelines come out from that single point. Okay? So have fun with it. Draw it. This is the quick illustration of the Titanic. This happened on April 14th, 1912, when this ship sank, and taking all the people along with it. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay?